Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Chris Dost. Welcome back to our Biblical Hebrew channel. Today we're going to begin looking at Amos chapter 1 and verse 2. Before we begin, however, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell below so that you can be notified when videos like this appear in the future. And please be sure to share this video on social media so that we can make other people aware of this resource. All right, let's get started. So we begin in Amos chapter 1 and verse 2. The first word here is vayomar, which is a vav consecutive of the verb aleph mem resh in the basic stem, and here. Now, oftentimes in the Hebrew scriptures, when we have the vav consecutive of this verb, it appears as vayomer, with the accent on the penultimate syllable, vayomer. So Muraoka points out that in this word, and I'll zoom in for you a little bit here, is originally where there is a segol, the short E vowel here, is in Proto-Semitic an A vowel. This becomes a short E in an open, unaccented syllable. Vayomer. That is the normal form that we find in the Hebrew scriptures. However, in Amos 1:2, the stress shifts, and we end up with the form vayomar. And so when the stress shifts to the ultimate syllable or the final syllable, the original A returns. And so we will translate this vayomar. Now, the accent that we have here is the shalshelet. The shalshelet is the curvy symbol above the mem, and shalshelet with pasek is a disjunctive accent. So, and he said, we would punctuate this with comma quotation marks, and then the next phrase reads, Adonai mitzion yeshag, Adonai mitzion yeshag. Adonai is the tetragrammaton. It is the name of God. In Jewish tradition, this name is not pronounced, and I follow that tradition here, so you will hear me say Adonai, which is the word for Lord, but this is, in Christian Bibles anyway, Lord with all capital letters, and that is the name of God. So the Lord, mitzion, this is the preposition min with tzion, from Zion. Notice that there is no dagesh in the tzadi, indicating the assimilation of the nun. However, when we look at this in the Aleppo Codex, we see here Adonai mitzion, and in the tzadi here, there is in fact a dagesh. In the Leningrad Codex, however, which we're looking at here, let's zoom in on the verse. We see here Vayomar, Adonai, Mitzion, and in fact, there is no dagesh present here. You will see, however, in BHQ, in the fascicle on the 12 minor prophets, that at the bottom of the page, in the critical apparatus, there is a note that says Mitzion with the dagesh, and then it reads MAMC afterwards, which indicates that the Aleppo Codex and the Cairo Codex both have the dagesh in it. So this is an example of how Biblia Hebraica Quinta faithfully presents the text of the Leningrad Codex even when it is incorrect. And this is the job of a diplomatic edition. When you read the Greek New Testament, that is presented as an eclectic edition where a text is created from all of the available manuscripts. And so the Greek New Testament is a scholarly reconstruction of what the text of the New Testament ought to look like in its earliest version. We'll skirt around all the problems with that for now. But a diplomatic edition simply presents the text as it appears in a manuscript, regardless of its problems. And this is a great example of that. So in the Tiberian tradition, this should read Mitzion with a dagesh in the tzadi, the dagesh being evidence of the assimilation of the nun. Now the next word in the phrase is yishag, yishag. And this is a third masculine singular prefix conjugation verb in the kal stem, the basic stem, whatever you choose to call it, the G stem. What's interesting about this form is that it has a kametz, not a patach. We typically observe pause at the end of a verse, on the very last word where the siluk takes place, but other times it will happen, for instance, where there is a zakef katan, which is the accent that we have here in Amos 1:3, on the word yishag. And this is a case where the patach becomes kamatz. Some examples are given here. Now, the zakef katan is a significant disjunctive accent that closes out a phrase in this case, and this is very common in the Hebrew Bible. So the accent pattern that we see here in this phrase is on Adonai. We have the pashta conjunctive accent, followed by the munach conjunctive accent on mitzion, and the disjunctive zakef katan on yishag. So the text that we've analyzed in this video reads, Vayomar, Adonai mitzion yishag. Read it again slowly. Vayomar, Adonai mitzion yishag. And one more time fast. Vayomar, Adonai mitzion yishag. And we'll translate it, and he said, the Lord from Zion roars, or to render it into idiomatic English, the Lord roars from Zion. The Lord roars from Zion. And so we have here Vayomar, and I'm going to zoom in. So you see that Vayomar has the shalshelet over the mem, as we expect. And then there is a cercilis here. The cercilis, this circular mark, points us, or is intended to refer us to the margin where we find a Masorah parva note. Now, the Masorah parva note reads as follows. We have the letter Zion, which means 7 times. The reason why Zion means 7 is because it's the 7th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zion. Those of you who are who maybe learned the Hebrew alphabet as Aleph, Beit, Vet, etc., you have to remember that Beit and Vet are really not 2 distinct letters in Hebrew. They are, in fact, only 1 letter with 2 different realizations or pronunciations. And so here we have Vayomar occurring 7 times, but it doesn't just say that this word occurs 7 times. We have the letters Beit, Tet beneath it. So how do you figure out what Beit, Tet means? Well, we go back to accordance. So if you go to the Biblia Hebraica Quinta Masoretic Parva electronic module, or just look in any of the fascicles, you will find a glossary of terms found in the Masorah. And if you scroll down to Tet, you will see this accent here, which stands for the Aramaic bita'ama, which means with this accent. Technically, there's no word for this here, but that is the meaning of the Masoretic note. And when we go to BHQ, we will see there that the note, when we go to BHQ at Amos 1:2, we will see that they print the note Zion, Beit, Tet, Ayin, because that's how it appears in the Leningrad Codex. The Aleppo Codex leaves off the Ayin, but it means the same thing. So 7 times with this accent. Now BHQ explains for us in the Masorah Parva commentary that this refers to the 7 cases where Shalshelet stands on the first word in the verse. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure you click the bell below so that you're notified when videos like this appear in the future. And please be sure to share this YouTube video on social media as well so as to make other people aware of this resource. All right, thanks everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.